All right, good day. Wow, what a crazy few days. As you're probably aware, Hurricane Beryl went whipping through and left a trail of destruction and debris in its wake. Category 1 hurricane made landfall just southwest of us, and then obviously came through Houston. Where we are, the eye of the storm actually went right over top of us, so we weren't in the, I guess they call it the dirty side. That kind of swung more towards the eastern side of Houston, towards downtown, and then Conroe and the Woodlands and stuff up north kind of really got a really smacking with that thing. We were really fortunate. We didn't lose power. We didn't lose anything in our little area here. The community beside us, I think they're still without power. And then a lot of places throughout kind of scattered are still dealing with that issue. Tragically, a couple of lives were lost during the storm, which, you know, is an inevitability, but, you know, obviously a heartfelt thoughts go out to those families at that time. So, but, you know, we're moving on, getting things back to normal. I actually went to work today, which was fantastic, driving through Houston traffic, if you've ever been here, with very little traffic lights. And not many people know how to use a four-way stop. So it's a little fun, but we're through it, and it's okay. Now I'm kind of surrounded. The news of the day, we got the LJ back. I picked it up from the frame shop yesterday afternoon, and got it back home, and everything seems to be okay. So I'll give an update on this, kind of what the status is of it, and maybe a path forward. And then I got some other issues that I'll give a State of the Union on. So stick around. All right, the fun continues. Not too sure how you spell fun, unless it starts with misery. But we got some really good news. So as I mentioned previously in the last couple of videos, they managed to repair the frame and get it all straightened out, pull it into the spec that's required. But just real quick, it's going to be hard to see, but there was some, the whole frame was actually bent, and they called it a side sway. It was actually pulled towards the driver's side from the impact here. So there was a bend here, and one of the brackets was all bent up, and one of the rear control arm brackets was chewed up as well. So we had all that repaired, and I'll pull you along here, and we'll go for a walk, but They actually did a really good job doing that. So they inspected it. They inspected the suspension. They measured the frame. They did a pull on the front side sway. They did a bracket pull on the left rail. So that's where it, you know, they had to pull back out to the outside. They did a structural pull on the rad support. It was crooked. So they got that all done. And then they did a two-wheel alignment. And they did a bracket repair on that control arm. So all that said and done, and cost-wise, it wasn't that expensive in relative terms. And I'll share the cost with you. It doesn't bother me at all. So the only thing that kind of is left over from it is the camber. So from a camber perspective, when I got the report back, the guys at the frame shop told me that the upper ball joint on the driver's side there's no adjustment in the Jeeps. So what that means is the knuckle is actually bent, And what it is it's got a degree too much of negative camber in the front driver's side tire. Spec I think is minus 0.26-ish. Right now it's minus 1.27. So there's a full degree off. A couple ways to fix that is one, put an adjustable ball joint in there so you can pull that tire over. You want a slightly negative camber in the front tires, so it helps with cornering and that sort of stuff, because these are race cars. You got to be able to take those corners fast. But I don't have that adjustability, so that's one way to do it. Or the other one is to replace the whole knuckle, and that would be a tie rod adjustment and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there yet. Right now I'm not going to do anything. All I was just going to do is wear the inner tire a little heavy compared to what normally would be. And since these are old dry rotted tires that I'm going to get rid of anyways, because I don't want 20-inch rims, I'm just going to burn them up. And then we'll deal with it later. I got a perfectly good set of 97, 98 factory tires right behind me. Those are 31-inch. So maybe we'll throw those on. Put some spaces on them to get the offset out a little bit, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's walk around the rest of this damage. So the body shop actually pulled out the door. If you remember, this was all jammed in pretty hard. So they did a little pull on the hinge, and I think the door will actually set properly now. I don't know what they did here. I don't know if they tried to fix it or they tried to do a pull, but basically I just picked the Jeep up because going forward, the quote that they had given me to do the body work was in the stratosphere. Honestly, it was north of $7,000 to just repair this body work. That's a new body panel, to pull the floor out and straighten it all out, and do the fender, do the hood, all these things. That was with them supplying all the parts. Obviously you can't get these skins anymore from the factory, so hence the reason why I cut up that one that I salvaged last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. And if I were to supply all the parts and pieces, it was still going to be north of $5,000 to fix it. So I kind of made the decision to pull it out, and maybe we'll see if we can put some lipstick on the pig. I don't know if they make enough lipstick, honestly, but we're going to give it a whirl. So I need some help in looking at this. Let's go over it real quick. The floor, as you can see, is pretty buckled. They did pull a little bit of it out, it looks like, but you can kind of see the subframe is still tore up and still pushed in, so it's all tore here. The floor plug is obviously missing, and it's buckled all the way back to almost parallel with the driver's seat. So this is single wall down in here, and then this is double wall. So I think there's some stuff we can do here, but I'm just not too sure of the best way to kind of approach it. Obviously you want to kind of pull down a little bit and then pull out and down and out. The big thing is going to be the torque box, and I'll get you down there and show you that. It's mangled up pretty bad. So let me get set up and then I'll show you that one. Okay, so looking underneath at the torque box, you can kind of see we're still in kind of miserable shape down here. The body mount is still crooked, but the frame itself is straight. So what it means is that that body is still pushed in a little bit. The torque box is obviously all kinked, and the skin is pulled away from the tub. So not too sure kind of the best way to tackle this. Maybe it's getting something up in here, pulling the skin away, and then wrenching on the torque box, just working it a little bit at a time, just pulling it out, kind of working it up and down. I got the winch on the other Jeep and stuff like that. So really, that's kind of what we're up against. It's going to be fun. No, fun is actually the wrong word. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be pretty painful. So this is, like I said before, this is not really my forte, so to speak. But it's where I kind of need some input. I don't have the resources here in Houston like I have back home in Canada, where I could call people that, you know, do this kind of for a living. So I'm gonna take my time with it and see. So, I mean, if you got some comments or input, feel free. Let me know. Drop it in the comments below. So let's kind of wrap it up. I'll move on. I'll give you kind of the lowdown. All right, let's get kind of the fun stuff out of the way now. Now that we've kind of seen what the damage is and seen what we're up against. I'm still on the fence about taking it to another body shop. The body shops that I've seen around here just do crazy work. Like they're working on, you know, 69 Pontiacs, GTOs, you know, Chargers, Challengers. And here I am with an 04 Jeep. But, you know, everybody just wants to turn it into like this show machine. And I don't want anybody to ever compromise the work that they do, because I don't want that. So anywho, kind of spitballing. So from a cost perspective, frame-wise, to do all the testing and get everything adjusted, get the frame straight, everything except for the upper ball joint, $1,750, which to me is basically, you know, start the car kind of thing. I think we did really, really well. The guys at the frame shop here just were great to deal with. A little slow, but great to deal with. So now that that's all done and we know that we have a great foundation to work with, even if I can't get that body to pull 100% and get everything to kind of line up perfectly, as long as everything's fastened and it's safe, and I can get it to pass an inspection, we're going to put this thing on the road and we're just going to drive the wheels off it. Literally, because I hate these wheels. If you want to buy a set of 20-inch, what are they? XD series rims, 20-inch with some kind of dry rotted 33-inch by 12.5 tires, they're for sale. Make me an offer. I'll gladly fire them off. Or if you're in Houston, I'll meet you. It'll work out great. So, all right, that's it for this thing. So over the next little while, this is going to kind of, you know, get a little bit of love here and there. Tanya's going home in August to get ready for my daughter's wedding. And then I'm going home a month later for the actual wedding, because as a dad, I don't really have a job other than, you know, pulling out my wallet. But I'm not really even doing much of that because I don't need to. So things are working great. So while Tanya's gone, I'm going to spend a lot of effort on this. I still got to get rid of this armadillo coating. And let's take a look at that real fast before I forget. All right, so Tanya got bored last night and was picking. And it looks like there was some surface prep done. They kind of lightly sanded it, but the coating itself is not that thick. So I did buy a stripper off the internet that I found. It looks like a lot of people are talking about it, called Citrus Strip. It's you know, it's got a really low pH, and it's got some other stuff in it that get into the coating and actually peel it off. It's used for varnish and all kinds of other stuff. So they give a way to put it on. So we're going to test a patch here probably this weekend and see what it turns out to, and then I'll probably sick Tanya on that before she actually leaves, because that isn't something that I really want to do, but we'll see how it goes. So now we're into the other Jeeps. During our adventures yesterday and picking up that one, we didn't have Fate on our side with the outed traffic lights and everything else. On the way back to drop this one off, and then we had to go get mine from work, the alternator died in this. So we quickly got it to my work. I pulled my Jeep out and we actually did a battery swap on the side of the road. because the battery was good in mine and hers was almost dead. So in doing that, we got her home, and now I've got it kind of half apart. So I'm actually going to pull the battery out and put it back in mine. This battery, it's an Optima red top, and it's not a yellow, I get it, but it sits a little bit lower than hers does, so some of my wires don't reach in mine. So half my stuff doesn't work in the Jeep, but the engine runs. So that's all that matters. So for tonight, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to bang that out, and then yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm not going to take you along on a battery swap. It's pretty straightforward. And then the other thing, I've ordered a new alternator. It'll be here this weekend. And we figured out what the noise is in hers. It sounds like it's a catalytic converter plugged, which is par for the course. So I'm going to do some more tests on that just to see if that's what it is. Replacement catalytic converter is like 200 bucks. So I might end up doing that as well. And that's going to be it for the next couple of weeks. So I'll be sure to bring you guys along and, you know, on these little daily things. I still got a clicking in the front end of mine. The radio's not masking it anymore, so I don't think I can ignore it. Whenever I go over bumps, I get a pretty good click, which probably isn't great, but I got to get that addressed as well. So I think that's going to do it for tonight. But thanks for sticking with us. Welcome to all the new people. Picked up a whole bunch of subscribers. So yeah, it's great to have you with us. Like, subscribe, comment. Love hearing from you guys. There's no judgments. I'm a dude in a garage with crude tools. So really, of anybody to throw stones, it ain't me. So thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you on the next one.